record the consent. That's true.
Okay. Awesome. Thanks, everybody. It is the Monday, August 3rd edition of the Omnideck community call. And today, so far, it is only Larry and I. My webcam on my laptop's not working, so you can't see me. But you can see Larry. So he's going to be providing facial expressions for both of us. So when I'm talking, I'm expecting, Larry, that you're going to be providing what you assume my facial expressions would look like in that moment. That's very close. That is almost scary. It's like you're reading my mind. Okay. So first thing we usually talk about is we talk about the things that got done. In Slack, where we have the list of things that got done, I didn't see the CLI stuff listed there. Was that missed by your agent?
It's very possible that my routine is not correctly doing that. So
that's where a lot of my effort was. So
yeah.
I'm contributing. I'm helping out here, but if we don't administer it, you know.
I know. Well, you know,
not that it matters. We're not keeping score. It's it's
we
cool
all know
stuff.
It is cool stuff. I'm trying to, you know what? I built myself a custom app for Omnideck that enhances the routines capabilities, and I'm going to go look right now.
Nice.
And see what it says about the weekly contribution.
What do it say?
Oh, you know what? I can even edit it, which is nice. I could just edit it by hand. I wanted to
share your screen to show us your awesomeness.
It's kind of busted, but I'll share my screen.
Okay. We're all friends here.
Make sure I don't have anything odd happening on the screen. It's very possible I do.
Some security number.
Everything looks good up there. Got my custom apps here. Don't have this one pinned. I have my Tamagotchi. Oh, it's passed. That's sad.
It's passed?
Yeah.
It died?
Yeah. Unfortunately,
I like the floating poop emoji. That's a good.
So
you just make a new one. Who cares? Make a new one. It's okay.
Okay, so we'll leave Tamagotchi going in the background there.
So now you have a new one that can die.
My draw board, that's not, though, what we really care about, although this is kind of fun. Task editor, that's what it's called. Let me just full screen this thing. Yes, so let's see what the weekly contributions summary. This is the task that is part of that routine. The editor is kind of busted, I was just noticing. If I do this, it disappears. Oh, no, it didn't. Sweet. So let's see. Your job is to compile a weekly contribution summary of all merged pull requests across all Omnideck repositories.
Makes sense.
Read the repo state file. Oh, I didn't know we had a repo state file. Oh, yes, I did. Okay, this is my local state for this particular custom app. So I don't care about that. Hopefully there's nothing special in here. You're probably going to reveal something. Let's see. Fetch merged PRs for each repo. Maybe that's the problem, is that it's only fetching for some repos.
I mean, that's what it looks like. It looked like it didn't even see CLI. It had done it before. So maybe when you edited it, it changed or something.
What's the CLI improvements?
But you don't have the repo name. Maybe it needs a repo name.
It's very possible.
Wouldn't that be a better way to go, you think?
Yeah, I should give a list of all the repo names. Although there might be some. Let's go check this out. I'm going to copy this. This is where I really shouldn't share. Okay, I'm going to unfull screen. I'm going to go to the
How many custom maps you got now, man?
Just a lot.
Just a lot.
Oh, you can't just CD that. That's a file. Oh, Okay, I think that's fair to show that. Well, I'm going to unshare for a second.
That's fine.
Oh, no. Okay. Nothing bad in here. I don't think these Slack user IDs need to be secret, so I'll just share what I have. So that routine uses this state folder to maintain state across runs, and it does list.
Is that an interactive terminal?
This is a terminal that is built into the IDE custom app.
Yeah, but I mean, can you type stuff in there like ls?
That's a terminal.
That's pretty sweet. Versus the when we see that normally when we see the terminal output from an Omnideck, run or conversation, it's read only.
Oh yeah.
So
this is a power move that anybody can download and use if they want, if they so choose. Anyway, not to bore people to death, but yes, the repos are all listed here. We got all of them: CLI, site, homebrew tech, Omnideck. So I don't know why I missed it, but I'll interrogate my agent and ask it to do a better job next time.
No mistakes.
Make no mistakes. Exactly.
I think you should just put in the explicit repos to check.
I didn't put in make no mistakes. Well, that's what was in there.
You said, but no, it said CLI something, but it didn't say Omnideck dev /CLI.
Why do you keep doing that? That's true. That's a very good point. Yeah,
it does say CLI, so
CLI site homebrew.
Well, it should. Yeah, no, you're right. It does say it.
I'm right. When you're right, you're right. Let's see. Where did that particular? Oh, here it is. Okay.
Output count.
So look up and compare them. Now, this is an exciting community meeting. I
mean, it's interesting.
It's interesting.
Seeing it actually in use, debugging things.
Stop doing this. Something's going on there. Anyway, let's see. Read the repo state file. So this is what it reads. Doesn't contain an organization though. A repo's object mapping name. Yep. That it does contain that. Okay. Read the Slack state file. Contains the ID for our channel and the bot user ID, which I will not show. Fetch merged PRs for each repo. For each repo listed in repos.json, which is this thing that has them all. Use the GitHub API integration, which I have set up to fetch pull request merge from to main in the last 7 days.
I'm wondering, we did merge that, right?
Yes.
So let me see. We have 4 pull requests.
Let's just do this the old-fashioned way.
But those are that. No. We had.
Damn it.
We did the merge, and I thought we actually had the tag as well. Yeah, the 10 alpha 1.
Bro.
Let me see. I'm just looking at the repo to make sure it's there. Okay, if I look at the commits, then merge pull request number 27 from Omnideck dev meta desktop. So that happened.
We'll let
that was the 30th and the 31st, so Thursday, Friday.
Should have caught him.
Yeah.
Should have caught him.
Shoulda, dulda.
Oh, see. This DeepSeek V4 caught it. Omnideck dev CLI 1 PR merge. Across several direct commits by Ron. Bunch of commits to meta desktop branch and meta desktop main desktop support JSON headless mode.
I mean, it doesn't have to call anybody out. Just as long as somewhere that is ultimately going to be publicly accessible, it is keeping score. As long as it's keeping score, it doesn't need to say Ron. We just need to
the most work Oh, you know what we'll do? Hold on a second. Let it tell us who did the most
Let it
work
cook.
here.
Let it cook.
Ron did 9? No.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Create a pie chart.
I mean, I
So-
had multiple commits
That's true.
in that. I had
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 commits if you include the actual PR. But if you don't
Mhm.
include that PR, then I had 6 commits. But that doesn't mean anything. Like,
Well,
oh yeah,
I'll be
look at
damned.
look at that. No, dude, I worked hard on that. Like, I did a bunch of stuff.
I know
With,
you did. Dude, go ahead.
you
Sorry.
usually kick
Tell
my
me,
ass
tell
on
me
this,
more.
so.
You did work hard. There was good stuff in there, actually.
And I did a bunch of testing, and I fixed failed tests, and I did a very in-depth code review of my own work. Well,
You did.
it wasn't.
Nice.
It was. Let's be honest. It was Claude. But I told it what to do. I came up with the plan. I went through multiple iterations. I worked through all the details. We had the work done. We did the testing. We did the code review, like all of the things without being completely vibe coded, but
That's
still
good.
using AI to do almost all the heavy lifting. And I specifically said, don't change anything core. This is only changing interface. There should be nothing that breaks from this because we're only adding a different way to use the same tool functionality. So
That was a good introduction.
again, if anyone, and we did actually have someone join the community today. Shout out to Hunter. If he ever does watch this later, Hunter joined today. He wants to join the call, couldn't make it today. He did say that moving it a little bit later would be easier for him. I think it would be easier for other people, so we should do that. He was interested in seeing what we did. So for anyone who watches later, Hunter or whomever, the goal here is that the initial proof of concept for the desktop app that Larry did, and he did the hard work on that one, so he gets points for that, was an Electron app because Larry's lazy and just went with the easiest possible thing. No, I'm kidding. We did the Electron app because it was a shorter path and it was a good proof of concept. Oh, is that poop because it pooped? You need to clean it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't mind me. I'm just gonna put this up.
No. Do your stuff, man. This is awesome. So the thing that we realized, we learned several things from that test. The first one was that we learned we need to be able to provide an experience in the desktop app which is largely on parity with the CLI, specifically the ability to create different decks. A deck is an instance of Omnideck. So you have one for work, and you have one for personal, and you have one for this project, and you have one for testing, like whatever. So multiple decks, the ability to see your resource usage, to be able to run updates, see your logs, all those fun things. We also realized that we did not want to have to update both of those independently. So that if we make an improvement or a fix or a change to the CLI, then we have to turn around and make it to the desktop app. So we decided to do, which was kind of something you had already started doing, Larry, was to allow the CLI tool to basically be the management engine for the desktop app. So when you install a new deck, i.e. a new instance, it's just calling the Omnideck CLI and doing the install that way. When you do an update, it's just calling the CLI. So we have a single project, which is the CLI. And the net result of this would be that you could use the desktop, you could use the CLI and just run it in your browser. You could do both at the same time, and it doesn't really matter because you still just have whatever decks installed and they're still running on Podman, and you can do it however you want. It doesn't matter because it's still all the same way. So in order to support that, we had a kind of a headless mode for most of the commands in the Omnideck CLI. What we did not have, which we needed, was a kind of a headless mode that returns JSON so that could be parsed to show you in the desktop app what's going on. So that is what we worked on. And then when I got to that point, Larry picked it up, and we had done some research and decided that instead of Electron, there were certain advantages to using Tauri, specifically performance and size, but also the fact that since it uses the web view that comes in your OS, as long as you're keeping your OS updated, then the web view, which is your primary Chrome around the UI, should not have security vulnerabilities, so that if we used Electron and we packaged the browser with it, we would, every time there was a security update to whatever browser we selected, we would need to re-roll an update, and we would need to get everybody else to update. And so we felt that going with Tauri was not only going to be more performant and efficient, but was going to be more secure from the standpoint that a user who doesn't update the desktop app should, if they're updating their OS, still have a more secure environment. So that is what Larry is in the middle of working on now, aren't you?
That's what I'm working on. That's right.
How's it going so far?
1 second. So far, so good. I'm working through just first hardening the auto update process and thinking through that. So basically, when a new container image is released and tagged, how do we notify the user that one's available and that they can auto update? And how do they opt in, opt out manually, or let it do it auto? So I'm trying to get all that nailed down before I finish putting much more work into the implementation itself, and also figuring out some versioning strategy and for each of the apps, how do we version them and how do we release them? And so basically there's going to be, I'm trying to work through all that, and then I'm going to finish shipping the desktop app itself. I don't know if that makes sense, but basically I want to be able to let the user.
Sorry, I grabbed a mouthful of Chex Mix and I don't want to chomp in your ear because I have manners and I care about you as a person.
You're good. Now, did you see while we were talking that I had Omnideck use the custom app drawboard to diagram for us how this is going to probably work?
It did. What is the drawboard based on? Is it completely you made it, or is it
custom app, bro? I told Omnideck to make it.
I do think
how it does it. I'll send you this later if you want it.
It's cool. I do think that there is value later down the road in allowing us to create, or I'm going to say custom app, but in Omnideck it just says app. Allowing us to create Omnideck custom apps utilizing other technologies than our current very opinionated model. Like, for example, it'd be cool if you could take like something like, I think Excalidraw is open source. Like you could pull that in, or you could pull in other tools.
It probably did.
And then
it probably did. It probably vendored some stuff. Bootstrap icons, it vendored them, I bet. Maybe even vendored some of the drawing stuff. It's actually hard to say, but I forget.
So now it was able to do this because there's a backend with an API for this app, right?
There is. I'm not actually sure how it did it. I'm gonna be honest. Just could have written the SVG directly in a place. I really don't remember.
Did you do the smiley face?
I just did the smiley face, yeah.
Because it's a little wonky.
Anyway, yeah. So I hope to get that desktop app out. Next couple of days. I really want to nail the versioning schema of the CLI, the desktop, and the container, and nail down how people can get notified of the updates and be able to download the updates from the desktop. Not the so I'm gonna start out incrementally. I'm just gonna worry about how do you get the app, the container, basically, because the app is the container, the image update from the desktop app without having to update the desktop every time. Because I suspect at some point the CLI and the desktop are barely getting much changes. Like we'll get them to the point where they're solid. And
they should not change.
They don't change very frequently. So you're really never updating those. So really to update that, you can just go download the new one. You probably don't need an auto updater for the most part. We can build that if people need it. But I want to make it super easy to be like notified, oh, there's a new version of the app. I can download it now. I could have it downloaded later. I can skip this version, whatever.
So are you thinking that we're going to need to do like versions of the Omnideck app, or are you just still going to stick with it's just an image, and when it knows that there's an updated image build, then it tells you to update it?
And that's it. Yeah, there'll be a way to detect when there's a newer image. And I'm not going to
just make a call to GitHub or something.
That's it. There'll just be like some place where there's like, this is the latest image, and it'll know which image it has. And it'll always increment, like using semver, like it'll always roll forward, because we don't want to ever roll backwards, because there's a lot of migrations and stuff in the app itself that we don't have.
Shouldn't we just use like a date based?
Yeah, open to that. I'll publish the
since it's a build
versioning scheme.
Since it's a build, a date based ID, like 2026 0803.0, and then if we rolled out a quick fix today, it would be 2026 0803.1 or something.
That's an option.
That's an
option. I'm not married to any particular scheme. Semver is one way to go, I guess. You just sort of tag the.
I would.
Tag it.
I think that makes sense for like the Omnideck repo itself. But the image build, because I'm going to be honest with you, buddy. I know you love your monorepo, and I do too. I am an old school monorepo fanatic. But when we're talking about more people getting involved, I think we're going to have to start to have some separation of concerns. So in my head, I see that at some point, and maybe we don't get there for a long time, and maybe I'm wrong, and we never get there, but at some point we would likely have a build that's building from multiple pieces to create that thing. And then at that point, the semver would be on the pieces, and the build would just be from the latest releases, stable releases of each piece. That's where I think we're going. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, it's the container image that's like every time we merge domain, we probably don't want to ship a new version that somebody has to deal with updating. We might want to batch them once a week or something. So
I was thinking once a week, yeah.
Whatever it is, some way.
But again, that makes sense, right? Like if you're doing it once a week, or that's the goal, then having instead of doing like a major minor patch kind of pattern, doing just here's the build, here's the date. It was, we do it on Sundays or Mondays or Wednesdays or from days, whatever.
From days. I'm open to that. I like that. We can go with that.
On on the topic of tearing apart your beloved monorepo,
It's not beloved.
I have another reason why we should do this specifically with the desktop app. Would you like to hear it?
Yes.
Do you really, or you're just saying that because you're supposed to and social convention dictates that you say yes when I ask that question?
I'd like to hear it until I get tired of hearing it. So let's start, and then if I get bored,
I
with
love
it,
the honesty.
I'll
I love
get
the
to
honesty.
something else.
Okay, so I was hoping to have this finished by this call, but I do not. I created a repo called Roadmap, and I'm building a project view that is so that we can use that for roadmap planning. And so the way that it works is we have some things that live as issues in the roadmap repo, specifically like epics or research or other things, which may or may not have multiple supporting repos they interact with. And so, but also each one of these a lot of these will probably have sub issues, which are actually issues in the other repos. So for example, in this case, we're talking about, we might have an epic, which is migrate the Electron desktop app POC to Tauri. So there would be one or more issues around the CLI with the JSON. And maybe it links to a meta in the CLI issue, which then has its own sub. That's fine. And then there would be one for, migrating creating the Tauri from the other, which would be, in this case, a separate repo. Right now, it's in the Omnideck repo, but I'm suggesting would be in the desktop repo. The other reason for this is that instead of creating categories for the different parts of the Omnideck world, I decided it was much cleaner just to stick with the repos. Because we have CLI, we have site, we have Omnideck itself, we have, what else? We now have roadmap, but that doesn't count. But there's like 5 of them. Well, and then if we do this the way I'm suggesting, then desktop would be another one. So like you were saying earlier, we should be in a world where desktop and CLI almost never change and are pretty solid moving forward. They might get occasional updates or tweaks, but they should almost never change. So keeping them separate kind of makes sense. And then you have the image build on Omnideck itself. And then you have the site, which is its own thing. The roadmap, which isn't about code at all. It's just about a single place to kind of manage across all the repos what the roadmap looks like and how they interrelate and things like that. So does that kind of make sense? I wish I had it finished so I could show you, but
yes, I think it does somewhat. When you show me, maybe it'll make more sense, but I think I get you. It could get you. You could create a custom app in Omnideck to manage your projects, to manage the roadmap. That could be an interesting thing to try out.
I have every intention of doing so. But it needs a database. It needs a place to live.
Yeah, you got SQLite, bro.
Well, but then other people can't see it.
Well,
so
on the roadmap, and we can fix that.
GitHub becomes the database. It has its own view and its own tools, and anyone can go and look at it, make comments, they can make requests, all of those fun things. And then I will have my own custom app, which interacts with the repo and the project to do the things I want to do and show it the way I want to show it. But there's that common place where everyone can see it.
I like that. Sounds good. People need it. Community need. The community of two need.
We got more people in Slack now. Not a lot, but we have
That's true.
folks.
A community of 3 or 4. 3 or 4.
People
We're doing
people
good.
using it. Wait, do we count our agents? Can we count our agents as
Community of 6. We can stack. Yeah, we can really pad the numbers by.
I can build a bunch of agents, dude.
You know what? I don't want this one on here. Sorry, I got distracted.
It happens. I've noticed.
I'm going to rearrange my projects while we talk. This is my number 1. It needs to go up there.
Your projects.
My apps. Oh my God, I used the wrong terminology.
Jeez. Killing me, Smalls.
I know.
So how are you digging the UI? Is it better now that you've pulled apps out to their own kind of side? And those are just pinned apps, or are they just all apps?
We're calling them pinned. You can pin another one. I've got the Gunsmoke Showdown portfolio rebalancer. Gunsmoke Showdown? Oh, glad you asked. Let's play with it. Oh, where did it open it?
So this is what Larry does instead of working on anything productive.
This is what I do when a new model comes out and I want to test its qualities. I did this with.
I like how you did a pivot there to make it sound like.
I did. Oh, you can hear it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did this with DeepSeek V4 Flash.
That's pretty cool.
Cost me maybe 50, 60 cents, maybe $1 to do it. Pretty good model.
So it's cheaper on like OpenRouter than GLM or something?
Oh my God, by a long shot, yeah.
That's always good.
I need to stop playing this. I just keep going.
It's fun, eh?
Anyway, this is a custom app.
You're getting killed, dude. Ooh. What are the unhappy faces there?
I actually don't know what those are. It's a good question. But I worked with DeepSeek to model each of these characters. Okay. So each character, I did like sprite sheets for it, and then we agreed on like, hey, these are the different characters. There's a boss that comes up in a minute. Anyway, you can see, you get the picture. So
and you've pinned this because you're spending your time playing the games that you made as opposed to doing actual work. I'm not judging you. I know that sounds judgy, and maybe I am judging you internally. That's not my intention. I just want to be very clear on what we're talking about here.
You know, I just like to push the boundaries of what's available in Omnideck, and sometimes you want to take a break and have some fun.
That's true. I can't deny that.
Custom app, and then you
can't
have
deny
fun
that.
with it.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah. So that's that. That's I don't know what
and
else.
then conversation knowledge base is another one that you did, right?
Oh yeah, this is a good one.
Kind of makes your own kind of wiki, kind of sort of.
So yeah, basically, I don't know if I want to show all this, but
no, you don't want to get into your business, but
I won't start. Well, I could do. I don't know.
Omnideck.
Omnideck. So I worked with mostly DeepSeek V4 to rewrite a lot of this, actually. But yeah, essentially, it's doing it's using some embeddings and some other non-ML algorithms to create a database and let me search across all my conversations. So I'm not going to like delete conversations anymore. I'm just going to archive them. And then this will create a long living, like searchable database of conversations, everything I've talked about with AI and everything we've done.
How is this different than just doing the search on the sidebar?
Well, this searches the whole conversation. It like
the sidebar just searches the title.
The sidebar just searches the title right now, though.
Okay.
You know, maybe there's an improvement we could do there, but this actually like chunks all the conversations up and like uses embeddings, and then it uses like cosine similarity to search across them. And then
so not using LLMs to do that. You use the LLM to create the app, but you're not using LLM to look for stuff.
I use the LLM to create the app, and I use the LLM to do the embeddings. But
right. Yeah.
Once the database is built, no, it just uses regular deterministic code.
Couldn't you script the embeddings?
Yeah. Well, I mean, now that I built the custom app, the custom app also contains a way to like resync everything. It could do embeddings without LLM. I mean, it it's not really I guess I actually don't really know how this works entirely, but I don't think it's a conventional LLM in the sense it's actually an embedding model.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you pass it the text and it like creates the embeddings for you.
But what I'm saying is, are you making an API call to OpenRouter to pay for that?
No, because I'm using Ollama locally.
Well, then
it's a local model I'm running. It's
yeah, if you're using a local, it's totally cool.
It's free. It's like I forget which embedding model it's using, but it's like a super small one. And it's totally free.
Okay.
It runs on my hardware. But
okay,
then
so
here's the next
go
level,
ahead,
though, just to
Yeah.
tie this off. So then I created, because I have custom apps enabled, or sorry, not custom apps, but under settings, custom tools, which is a experimental
New thing.
feature you can turn on or off. It lets the LLM build its own tools. So normally it ships with a fixed set of tools, but here I can have the LLM build its own tool. And so I gave the LLM a tool called Search Past Conversations. And so now it has a tool that can search the database created by this custom app. And then it has a little memory entry that just says, hey, there's a Search Past Conversations tool. You should use it whenever you want to do a thing. So now if I start a new chat, I can ask it like, hey, what did I learn about, let's just try and see if it works. DeepSeek V4 Flash, my new favorite model. What have I learned about containers on a Mac in the past? And if it works correctly, it'll call that, I don't know if you saw it, called that tool, custom tool. Now it's running the custom tool. So it's like searching my conversation knowledge base. It's searching across my past conversations. And I had done a bunch of talking about with the LLM and some different conversations about how to run containers on a Mac. And then it just didn't have to like research all this stuff again. It just looked at my past conversations and used that custom tool alongside the custom app database to be able to like now have sort of a long-term memory.
That's pretty darn cool.
One other thing is this thing I'm working on called lessons. What lessons are is I'm still working through this and see if it actually provides value or not. But the idea is that it looks through all your past conversations and it looks for places where the LLM corrected itself, where it was like, I tried a thing, and then in its thinking, it's like, oh, that didn't work because X, Y, and Z. So let me try a different thing. So it goes through all the conversations, parses those patterns out, and then uses an LLM and like groups them together. And then it uses an LLM to say, hey, here's a bunch of corrections that are all like grouped together. Related, pull out like a lesson to be learned based on that. And so from now on, whenever the LLM tries to do something, there's going to be similar. There's going to be a tool it can call that has like a semantic search. Hey, I'm going to do this thing. What have I learned about it in the past? That's more of a correction, like a lesson I've learned. So it can like not make the same mistake again. I haven't tried it much, but I'm working through it.
Self-improving,
yeah.
Okay, so that's very interesting because one of the big booyah of Hermes, right, is the self-improving agent, and it's baked in. This is a very interesting alternative, kind of more like, what is it, NanoClaw or the Pi coding harness, where Omnideck is providing you with all of the tools you need to do the things you want to do.
Yeah.
You just got to tell it.
Yeah.
But I feel like there's a place we're going to want to get to in the not too distant future where we're probably going to want to ship some default Omnideck apps that you can choose to extend or modify or delete. I also feel like we're now starting to talk about the possibility of like a marketplace, a library, if you will, of community contributed apps that know how to work in the Omnideck space and are set up that way. And then you can find something you like and clone it down and you can make it your own.
Yeah, pretty much. That's the idea. Like, I think it's too early for us to talk about shipping something like this as part of the core of Omnideck, and maybe
Yeah, I agree.
never. To be honest with you, like
That's what I'm saying. Maybe we don't ever need to make that a core thing, as long as we make that functionality something that you can get if you want it.
100%. Yeah, I that's exactly right. I'm not sure this needs to be a core thing because I think it's more art than science. And so maybe having a library of custom apps, and we can even have one that we contribute that we say this is one that works well for us. You can use it as a starting point, and then modify it however you want. But yeah, it's like, because I don't know this whole memory thing, like, I haven't used it enough to say, does it really improve my workflows or not? So spending a lot of time building it in feels like more of a, hey, this is cool, wowsy zowsy, versus, hey, this is really like gonna make your life better. You know what I mean?
So yeah, I do. I mean, I'm now starting to feel like maybe we've talked a lot about like having like a wiki with like semantic search on top. I mean, I still think that is valuable. That is kind of the way things. We know that there's value. We know that people do that. There's a lot of intrinsic things there, and I do think maybe there is some stuff we should ship that has the foundation for that, but it doesn't necessarily have to be like a fully polished, complete thing. And this is an opinionated way on how to do this thing. So this is how it's done. So much as it is, here are the basic tools you need to do this. And maybe even here's a representative example that should work for 80%, 90% of the time. But you can do it any way you want.
Yeah, I think apps is like the bet. Like, to me, I feel like the core of Omnideck is routines, all the like agentic API, SDK stuff, artifacts is in there. It needs to evolve, I think, but still it's in there. But then once you throw apps in and you make a really good SDK for apps, you give the agent a lot of tools to do it well, where users can do it without having to like know a lot about the like I know how it works, so I could like work around it. Although you could just ask the AI to like, and it'll figure it out. So really it's not like that complicated. Anyway, I think the point I was trying to get at is I think like once you have custom apps, whatever.
Yeah.
You're almost done in a way. You know what I mean? It's like, because then it can do everything.
Well, yes and no. Because I think you got to keep a couple things in mind. First of all, that mindset is very new. It's like saying, well, once you have Google, you can find anything.
Right.
And that's kind of true. But by the same token, it wasn't true when Google first came out. And there are people who didn't know how to Google, didn't know how to search. Like, well, I just want to, how do you search? Well, you just search. Well, where's the tree and the folders like on Yahoo? Like, that's what search is. It's like, no, this is something different. You just ask your questions and answers. Well, how does that work? Just ask. And then now here we are, 15, 20 years later, 20, I guess, 20 something. Anyway, 25. We're here. And now people don't even think twice about it. Like, oh, you just go search and you get what you want. So I think that there's a learning curve that we're going to have to get to. But I think the other thing, sticky wiki, that is just ridiculous. I think the other thing is that you also have to realize that there are certain skills that come with creating apps that a software developer with a lot of experience has. Where you think, the things you ask for, the way you ask for it, the feedback you give, like in theory, anyone can say, hey, I want to be able to do this thing, and it will do it. And oh, I don't like this, change it to that, and it will do it. But I think that there's a lot of assumptions that you and I don't even realize we're making because we know how to make software, that we can get there much faster and easier. So I do think that there's going to be a huge place for education, for supporting tools. Some people are just going to be like, just give it to me. You made something good enough. Give it to me. I'll take it. That's fine. So
Yeah.
while I was waxing poetic, you just built a little wiki.
Pretty much. See, the time it takes to talk about things, you just build them now. I love it. It's my favorite thing about AI. It's just like,
okay, you need to make it have a node view like Obsidian.
fine.
But okay, but think about this. The other app we were just looking at, where it's like searching your conversations and like,
I don't know how to spell
you
it.
know, it's got lessons learned and all that. And you say, oh, what did I learn about Apple? You know, what is it? Containers on Apple hardware or whatever. You should be able to say, cool, add this to my wiki. And then it breaks it up into multiple pieces. It links them together in a way that's logical, makes sense, following either good rules or the rules you've laid out. And then have it. And if you have this semantic search on top of it, well, with embeddings or what have you, now you can search for it, and the LLM can search for it, and it can search, and you could add lessons. What lessons have I learned? Those lessons could be added as wiki entries.
I like that, actually.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So
it's true.
I don't know. I think there's something there.
There is something there. And with DeepSeek V4 Flash, which I'm using, it's basically free. It's almost like you don't even have to pay for AI anymore. It's kind of amazing.
Okay, we're technically at time, but I do have one more thing I want to throw out there.
All right.
And this is something that I explicitly put on the roadmap that I haven't finished. I can't show you, but I will another day or so. I think we ship Ollama in the container, but we don't give people all the tools they need. I actually tried last night on my laptop, which does not have a GPU, to try and set something up. And Omnideck found a way to install, it was a version of Quen, I think. It might have been 7B, something like that. And I couldn't get it working. It connected, it said it was connected, the test connection in the Omnideck settings worked, but every time I tried to hit it, nothing would happen, and I just didn't feel like messing with it. So I deleted the whole deck because I downloaded all that stuff and configured all this memory for it to use. And it was really easy just to delete the deck because it was a test. I didn't care.
Yeah.
But my point is, what if when people start up right now, they get blocked by the setup wizard. You got to get an API. You got to get started.
Yep.
And I think there's potential value in, number one, allowing you to skip that. You don't connect an LLM. You got one or two default apps you can use. You can poke around, see how stuff works. You're not going to be able to have a conversation. You're not going to be able to use the LLM. You're obviously very hampered in anything you can do, but you can at least get a feel. Kind of bounce around. That's still valuable.
Yeah.
But number two, how cool would it be if it's like, okay, do you want to set up a free local source?
Yeah.
And it looks and says, okay, we do the GPU pass through, and it says, okay, well, here's what you have available, so I can set up this. Or you don't have that available, you have this much RAM, it's going to be CPU only. So here are 3 suggested things that you could get, like a Gemma, something you'd run on your phone, right?
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, phones have NPUs, so they're probably better than just a straight CPU model, but still. Something you can run on your CPU, even if it's not that great. Free, doesn't cost anything. You can do some stuff. Probably can't write code, not efficiently. You might be able to do some things, but that could be a really great thing, especially for people who want to kick the tires, or like me, who are super cheap and are like, oh, hey, I want to have something that is legitimately free, that's offline, that's privacy first. And I want to be able to use that. And if it doesn't work, then I can bounce up to a paid model.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think maybe we just embed a built-in provider that just is already set up with like a local model. Could be one option. So like one of the smallest local models that can run on pretty much any CPU.
Well, I thought about that, but I like the idea of people choosing.
Yeah, they can
whether
choose.
it's Ollama or Llama CPP, whatever.
Right.
Not giving them 1,000 choices, but saying, okay, here are the 3 things we recommend.
Right.
You want to go do something custom, you can, and also recommending. So the problem with that is it's constrained to the deck itself. If you got 3 decks, you do that 3 times, and each one is like, 2 gigs. Now you're talking 6 gigs. That's pretty hefty.
Right.
So I think we need a guide on how to set up Ollama easily, how to make it, set up the proper, I don't even know what you do for the networking so that you can use it from any of your decks.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Yeah.
But that's a direction I think we need to go, because being able to use, and dude, who was it? Somebody I was just reading today, they took the latest version of Kimi K3, the big Mamba Jamba, and they wrote some C++ that allows you to run the full-fledged, no holds barred Kimi K3 with no GPU. Now you need 1.7 terabytes storage, and you need a lot of RAM, even if you're only loading so many models at once.
Right.
And I think it's something like what was it like? It was like 20 to 30 seconds per word. It was ridiculous. It was like ridiculously slow.
Right.
But the point is, that is like one of the biggest, top dog, most advanced open source models available right now. And people are figuring out how to run this stuff with less hardware, more efficiently. We're seeing the model of experts where it's offloading off your GPU and only pulling in the things it needs. Like these things are going to continue to improve. So I think even regular consumer grade hardware is going to start to get to where you can run 50, 60, 80, 90% of all of your LLM needs just on a reasonable device with 8 gigs of RAM or VRAM.
Yeah, for sure.
I think we're close to that,
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, let's put it on the roadmap.
It is.
Put that on the roadmap. We can definitely work on that.
Okay, man. Well, thanks, buddy. That was super fun, super helpful.
Yeah, it was fun.
I like seeing all of your experiments.
Yes.
And I still think, I know, still think they should be separate repos so they can be pulled in independently. Saying, I know you don't like that. Just saying.
One day you'll come around to the age of AI. You just tell it, here's the repo, here's the folder with the custom app, install it. Bada bing, bada boom, it's all done. But we'll see.
There's pros and cons. I think the monorepo is great for the developer who's doing it. It's very convenient. I think that there's problems for the consumer and the other people involved. But how about we table that and we can argue about it over the next 12 community meetings, because it's going to be a long running conversation.
Endlessly argue about it. Here's the other option, because these are free custom maps that I have built and put in my personal repo, but they're open source. You could create whatever you want to use, AI or do it manually. You could create something to take each one of those and put it in its own repo in your workspace.
Could steal them from you.
Your personal workspace.
Oh, see that now you're turning open source ethos
it's-
against me.
It's open source, so you could do whatever you want. That's the joy of open source.
Yeah, but buddy, it's open source, so I want someone else to do all the work, so I don't have to.
Well, that's what
The dark side.
That's what Omnideck is for.
Oh, there it is.
I'll work on the
Goes
core.
back.
The core of Omnideck.
Yeah. Okay, bye.
People can. Yeah, that was fun. We'll keep arguing about it. It's always fun to argue about that stuff. Bike shedding or whatever it's called.
Yeah. Friendly debate.
Friendly debate.
Okay, man.
All right.
I'll talk to you later. Good work.
See ya. All right,
soon.
thanks. See you. Bye.